what you just made.
Okay, so here are some shelves I made. And now I'm going to make some more shelves. And let's do an easel as well. So here are the parts. And I thought I'd do a wagon wheel as well to add to the rustic charm. Let's get the glue ready here. These look pretty simple. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you about the time we got kicked in the head by Danny Glover. This was during the filming of 2012, the disaster movie. I think it came out. No, it wouldn't have been 2012. About 10. Anyway, mid 2000s, I'd say. And the set was outside the White House, which was quite fascinating because they actually had a replica of the White House. Some of the rooms inside. We started inside as kind of a just setting the scene, kind of as being used as disaster relief. We were gathering there, and just the attention to detail. This pencil was one of the pencils that we were using to sign in to the White House, and actually it's printed with the White House, and that is what happens when you have hundreds of millions of dollars to make a movie. So outside the White House was a triage area with tents and tanks and ambulances and such. And what's amazing is that this was all on an earthquake stage. So the shaking in the movie when the earthquake hits is real. Every probably, but I don't know, probably with the size of a football field. I don't think I'm exaggerating because it was covered with things. It was not a small area, and one of the things that was on it also was stretchers, which was quite terrifying because I myself was on a stretcher. I had a little IV bag and my head was bandaged, and of course it shook like at least a couple feet in every direction to simulate an earthquake. During the scene, the president has a conversation with one of the medics right over my stretcher. I don't think you can see me at all. I'm just kind of decoration there. And so every time it shook, the poor intern had to hold my stretcher to keep me from being injured, which was it was an adventure. It was fun. So the next scene, of course, everyone's just lying around. We're devastated. The ground has shooken, and right. Earlier that scene, there was also a volcano. Like, I mean, we really did a number on the Earth in this movie, or maybe it was like I think there was like too many neutrinos in something, and so the premise of 2012 is these mega disasters just started hitting everywhere, and I suppose an earthquake in Washington. I don't think that's ever actually happened, and so we're all lying on the ground, all the stretchers and all this stuff are. Oh yeah, I was going to mention there's a volcano as well. That's right, because in an earlier scene, I was playing a different character, but we were walking through Washington, and we're covered in ash. I think I've got a picture of that somewhere. I'll have to try and find that. My face covered in ash. So yeah, volcano, earthquake, and spoiler alert. Well, no, I won't spoil it. Yes, we're all lying down. I'm probably dead, or wishing I was. I was supposed to be gluing this. I'm just trying to figure out where exactly to place it. Okay, I don't think it really matters. We are all lying dead, and the president's Danny Glover. I think not sure if I mentioned that. So that gives it gives it a little bit of context. Yeah, so he's having this conversation above me during the earthquake, or before the earthquake, and during the earthquake, he's just being tossed around. And then after the earthquake, we were all lying on the ground. And of course, we all kind of wanted to get in on this scene because he's lying on the ground too. And of course, we're all positioning our bodies to get our heads a little closer to him and maybe be on camera and be famous. And I got a little too close to his foot. And yeah, so he did a little bit of a shift. Yeah, he kicked me in the head mildly, and of course it's no injury and just a story to tell while I'm ostensibly making shelves. There we go. All right, that's gonna look good. Yeah, for Kathy's Flower House. So I felt bad for the guy because he does stand up, and just when he stands up, he looks to the horizon and sees a giant tidal wave. Oh my gosh, we really fracked up the earth. There's a tidal wave in Washington. That's how bad things have gotten. And of course, he realizes that he's going to die, and he's never going to see his wife again. So he falls to his knees dramatically, and the poor guy had to do several takes. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Danny Glover's movies, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to. And I did manage to resist the urge to say it because he was clearly uncomfortable. He was complaining about having to fall to his knees take after take. But if you've seen his movie, how tempting it was to say, "Are you getting too old for this shit?" And of course, falling to your knees is an uncomfortable experience at the best of times, much less after a volcano and an earthquake. And in front of a tidal wave. No, you'll never see your wife again. So yeah, so that is when I was kicked in the head by Danny Glover. I did in another incarnation survive Earth, or well, in theory, I made it to the Ark in another scene. This is another scene where we're all scrambling to make it to the Ark. We're the rich in this particular scene, trying to what the heck? How does that fit there? Trying to make it to this Ark. We've by hook or by crook made it, and we bought our very expensive tickets. I imagine very expensive. This is the last Ark, only Ark. Well, no, I think there's a few Arks, but we make it, and that is actually another amazing set. Now, well, I didn't get to be on the Ark for any of the movie. This does not fit. Is this supposed to fit? Oh, okay, it just goes inside. That's what she said. So yeah, there's this big scene where there's hundreds of us, literally hundreds of us, and we're in this former warehouse just by Lonsdale Quay. It's been torn down there. There's a nice little restaurant there now, but at the time it was docks. It's the same area where we shot Fantastic Four, which was kind of interesting because they actually had a replica of the not Broadway Bridge, sorry, where is there? Wait, what's that famous bridge at the start of Taxi? What bridge is that? Anyway, they had a replica of that, but of course with greens around it so they could put in the New York skyline afterwards. But yeah, yeah, I didn't actually have any scenes on the Ark, but apparently when it starts taking in water, they actually had people bouncing around in water. That should not be glued completely. Making a mess. All right. But yeah, there's this giant room, and again about the length of a football field. And if I don't know what a football field actually looks like, then I'm steering you very wrong. But but yeah, so we all had to run towards this arc, and I'm assuming I made it on. I really hope so. Um, yeah, and the arc didn't sink. Spoiler alert. But yeah, that actually was probably the site of one of the most expensive birthday presents anyone has ever received. Someone on crew, it was their birthday, and so someone else, I'm not sure who, someone else on crew who had the sway to do this kind of thing, got them a rather impressive gift. Because we're all standing at the end of this sound stage, or not sound stage, or maybe it is called sound stage. Anyway, this big indoor area. The only set that really there was the gate for this arc, and I guess the wall for the arc itself, and then this cement platform that we all ran down again and again and again, late at night, and then we all just were kind of standing at the end of the sound stage, and they were on a break, and they tell us to just kind of wait. And down at the other end, suddenly we hear bagpipes, and just out of the darkness. I mean, again, it was quite far, about the length of a football field away. We hear bagpipes, and out of the darkness, steps a bagpiper playing. I don't know what song it was. They all sound the same on bagpipe. No offense. It wasn't Amazing Grace, but it was something. Yeah, and just starts walking towards the crowd and the crew. It was quite impressive. Very dramatic in this giant empty space indoors, but big, big empty space, and this piper just filled that space with his music and slowly walked across the field towards us, or the cement towards us. The thing was that this was about, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning, and I just couldn't help but think just how much that cost to put the entire production on hold. Hundreds of extras. I'm not even exaggerating. I've been on some big sets before. The biggest would have been Hot Rod. That very final, that finale, where he jumps the buses. That was not CGI. That was over 1,000 extras, all in the stands on a hot summer day. That was fun. This was hundreds running across this sound stage. But yeah, paying these extras and the crew at overtime at 2 in the morning. But it was very dramatic. It was a very, very dramatic scene, and I'm going to have to put something to prop this in. I still feel like this is wrong. No, that's wrong. It's just going to be a little bit of an angle there. And now, okay, that's got to stay there. Now let's do this wheel, and oh yeah, let's get that glue in there nicely. I'm too old for this shit. Look what you just made.